The legendary Australian Ford Falcon is sadly not long for this world, but that hasn't stopped the Blue Oval from sending it off big time with the most powerful XR models ever, with the limited build XR6 and XR8 Sprints. On the surface, the Sprints may look like a bit of a parts bin special, and for example you might recognise the wheels from the previous GTE and F6E FPV models, but if you scratch beneath the surface there's a whole lot of details that have been developed just for these last models.
On the outside you can pick the XR8 by its signature bonnet bulge, but the Sprint model also gets blacked out mirrors and roof and a unique decal along the doors. The XR6 gets its own decals on the rear guards, and both models get new foglight surrounds up front and a subtle lip spoiler on the boot. On the inside, there's new Alcantara trim patches and revised colours, which makes the old FG interior feel a bit more special. So if you look closely, it's a pretty special design, but it's underneath where the big story is.
The XR8 Sprint gets a recalibrated version of the supercharged V8 from the regular XR8, which you can actually no longer buy. The XR6 Sprint gets an uprated version of the old F6 engine, and it also makes up the last of the XR6 Turbo models. So no more regular XR6 Turbo or regular XR8.
The XR6 also gets a gorgeous carbon fibre intake snorkel, which combined with a new exhaust helps the Sprint to breathe better than any Turbo 6 before it.
The XR6 Sprint is auto only, but you can actually buy the XR8 Sprint in manual or auto.
Both Sprints get the 6-pot Brembo brakes from the fastest of the GTs, but they also get their own suspension setups and new Pirelli P0 tyres to bring them a cut above the regular XR8's R-Spec setup.
So which is fastest, XR6 or XR8? Ford isn't specifying official acceleration figures, but admits that in the right hands and under the right conditions, the XR8 manual is actually quickest of the three. But under everyday conditions, most of us will be fastest in the XR6 Sprint.
Both cars are blisteringly fast, to the point where they could well be the fastest cars Australia has ever produced. The new tyres play a big role here, but the new suspension has been tuned to match and somehow manages to improve handling and ride comfort at the same time. The XR8 is the poetic choice, with its fantastic supercharger whine and V8 exhaust bellow, but the XR6 feels sharper, lighter and more responsive. Horses for courses, but we're glad they've given us a choice. Both Sprints are being produced in very limited numbers, so you'd be lucky to find one.
There is no question that the Sprints are the fastest XRs ever, and they're also arguably the most special. They may not be as leery as a GT, for example, but their sophistication is a great way to send the Falcon off.